As we get started here, let's make sure that we're all kind of playing by the same rules and understanding exactly what we're talking about. So let's answer the question, just what exactly is a SQL Server Developer and what are they expected to do? Well, the short answer is they should focus on creating database solutions. Now, if you're already working in the IT field, you don't need me to tell you that it's almost impossible nowadays to get a concise, strict job description. You kind of tend to put out whatever fire pops up. But for a SQL Server developer, this is the way Microsoft breaks down the job tasks, and this is generally what you're going to see out there in the real world as well. The things that a SQL Server developer are going to do on a daily basis is, number one, write transact SQL queries, especially those queries that get used in a production environment by the end user programs and so forth. Even if you don't write them, you're going to look over them because some .NET developer may have written them, and we don't trust those people as a general rule. If you're a .NET developer, you know what I'm talking about. But there's a reason for that, and we'll get into it later as we go through here. So you'll write transact SQL queries to select data, to insert data, to update and delete data. The next thing that you will do is design and implement programming objects. We're going to talk about these in some different videos in this course later. We're talking about views and stored procedures and how to use various programming tasks inside those. You will also troubleshoot programming objects. Now, you may work in a place where somebody did some programming before you got there. Chances are that person did some things that nobody can understand now. That's normal, but you will have to troubleshoot other people's programming objects. And then the most humiliating, of course, is to troubleshoot your own and have to wonder about yourself even, what kind of sinus medicine was I taking that day? Then you will assist with database performance tuning and optimization. Usually this comes to you in the form of dealing with indexes, rewriting your own queries based on database structure changes, or again, that sinus medicine that you were on 6 months ago when you wrote that original query. You'll get involved with database design. You want to be involved with database design, and here we're talking about the conceptual and logical levels, and really we're meaning during the requirement stage when the database was actually being conceptualized and pulled together as a working application. The more input you can have there, the more you're going to know about how to build the queries to really make this thing sing and hum. You'll also be involved, hopefully, in the physical design of the databases. Again, this just gives you knowledge and familiarity. It becomes your baby, and you know everything about the noises it makes and all this sort of thing. And then gathering business requirements. So that's kind of what you can look forward to as a SQL Server developer. But let me tell you, as the world continues to kind of flatten out and as the various tools and responsibilities and knowledge requirements between developers and administrators blur, you're going to find yourself needing to know a lot of different information. But this is a good general guideline of what you're going to be encountering out there in the real world as a SQL Server developer. So these are the topics we're going to kind of concentrate on. We're not going to do a whole lot with gathering business requirements. We'll talk about it a little bit, but it bores everybody and it's so different every time. And I'll just kind of point you to some resources, but we're going to dig into most of these other topics here and give you a good foundation on getting started, and then again also show you some examples and then point you to some other resources.